Hello and welcome to another episode of Shenzo Plays. Today we're hopping back into the Talos Principle. We're trying to solve problems. God help me, because I screwed up this intro already. That's why Kelly's saying take two in the chat, YouTube, just so you know. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this puzzle game, I should say, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to continuing. So we're gonna solve a couple more of them, and then I was just telling Twitch we are probably gonna venture into the Forbidden Zone and see what happens. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens at the end of the stream today. But YouTube, thank you guys very much for watching. As always, I really appreciate you. If you can, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell if you want to get notified. Follow me on all my social media down below. Check me out at twitch.tv/ShenzoTheLost where you can catch this live. Usually on Sundays, but today I switched things up on everybody and we're recording on a Monday night. And if you're watching this around Thanksgiving time, happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates, and happy Thursday to everybody who does not. But YouTube, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you here in just a second. Welcome back, YouTube. How are you doing? Hope you enjoyed the, hopefully 2 seconds of downtime between the ending of the intro and this video, if you even make it this far. But thank you so much for being here. As you can see, we've got the Talos Principle. I also want to apologize. I have a friend of mine who needs some help with something, so I'm on standby. I probably won't hear much from her here in a minute, just because there's a big time difference. But if you see me looking at my phone, that's probably what I'm doing. So I do apologize. But yeah, it's good to have you here. Welcome on in. We're going to hop back into the Talos Principle. We're going to continue from our last checkpoint. We made a lot of progress, and we are now here in the Desert Temple. We have gotten everything in room 1, and we are now working on room 2. I gotta say, the one thing that keeps throwing me off is the sensitivity. I think you guys may have picked up on this, but every time it's like I have to kind of like readjust to it because it's so much more sensitive than I expect. It's not bad, it's just different.
I know all. My power knows no bounds. And yet your will is free because you were made to be free. It is the very principle of your existence, without which the trials of this world would hold no meaning. To seek salvation must be your choice.
Am I going crazy, or do the computer terminals have a personality? Well, it's Texan, so potentially both. Though the term science is only meant when it does to us for around 600 years, its practice far predates the name. There is evidence pre-Aristotle which indicates soothsayers, mystics, and the like may have employed basic scientific methods to predict the future and confound their benefactors. One anecdote concerns a palm reader who was exposed when two wealthy clients compared their readings and found them to be identical. In 1948, the tendency to discover deep personal meaning in vague descriptions delivered authoritatively is given the name the Forer effect. They is recognized in all contemporary psychological theory. Alright. Weight loss 722. Weight loss blog latest entry. Oh man, if there's one thing that's good about inevitable death, it's the food. Yeah, baby, I'm going to have all the horribly unhealthy foods in the world. I'm going to feast on jelly bananas like a crazy monkey on Monkey Christmas. And you know those muffins that have so much chocolate they're basically melting? That's going to be my breakfast. And burgers for lunch. I'm going to have burgers so greasy you could use them to lubricate a whole factory. Triple bacon burgers with double cheese and extra onions and mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard and big fat juicy patties. I really thought they were going a different way with that. And then oily, thick pizza with spicy salami and barbecue sauce and olives and jalapenos and sour cream. Food coma, here I come. Fascinated by Drenna's project. Lovely conversation. Read RE the Talos Principle. Greek philosophy, relevance to current situations. Suggest naming Project Talos. Drenna refused, but name seems to have caught on with the team. Tens of thousands of files coming in every hour. Our whole history. Alrighty.
I keep having these dreams. Great empty cities. Silent roads stretching for miles. The Earth from space. All dark. Not a single light to guide me home. But if someone really came from another world, what would the Earth look like to them? A wilderness? A wasteland? I don't think so. Even after thousands of years, they'd see a world shaped by our hand in every aspect of its being. They'd see the cities and the roads, the bridges, the harbors, and they would say, here lived a race of giants. These dreams, they scare me, but they also remind me that we built all of this.
Alrighty. So first puzzle of the day, everybody. Pretty straightforward. Use the power of air to your advantage. Guys, I don't want to alarm y'all, but I think I'm a fake airbender. Look at this. See? It's on. Now it's off. On. Off. Thinking about it, it's been a while since I have a chocolate bar, maybe a month. In fact, the last chocolate I had was on Wednesday. It was 2 caramel live rosin or resin THC chocolates. Hell yeah! Yeah, I've been trying to eat a lot better recently as well. Although I must confess, I am kind of on a carb load at the moment because I went to go get breadsticks yesterday. Delicious breadsticks. Nom 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 nom. But beyond that, no, I had a salad for dinner yesterday. I'm having chicken for dinner tonight. I've got pork chops that I'll be prepping for tomorrow. Trying to do better. Also, Felly says that the pizza blog, the weight loss blog, was clearly written by a Ninja Turtle. Which turtle? My guess is Mikey. Personally speaking, I'd go with Mikey. Sounds like a Mikey entry. The Tomb! Alright. Oh. Okay, they did provide a connector. I was wondering. I'm like, am I gonna have to go steal that one? Let's see. Recently found out Prime Video gives DoorDash Pass for free. Big mistake. Oh, really? I will have to look into that. I'm convinced there are answers here if we look hard enough. We have to work together on this. Okay, so I get that I'm supposed to retrieve the sigils. I just don't get why. Sure, the loud voice is telling me to, but this world has no context, no purpose, no foundations on which to construct them. just looking around to make sure I don't miss anything. And we got another one. Another one. Another one. Is dog reading my mind? Which dog? Is Tanner reading your mind? I don't know. Tanner, are you reading his mind? Tanner says no. He is, thinking about, you know, his dinner. Wise man says never pay full price for late pizza. True. Wonder with so many companies getting the QR code route for contests, wonder how much the price payouts have dropped for companies. Good question. I honestly don't know. Oh yeah, hang on one second. I was supposed to get a delivery today. Did it arrive already? And did I just not see it? Or is it arriving late? Nope, still on its way here. Okay, no worries. Okay, let's see here. Got it. So this is the sign. So there is still a star around. I can't help but wonder if I'm going to need to use that. We'll see. Man on the moon. Take care, Felly. Have a good night, okay? Thanks for stopping by. Always good to see you. Whee! Sleep is overrated. Fight the power. Canucks woke up at 3 a.m. PT this morning. It's 5:30 p.m. currently. Canucks, that's when I fell asleep last night. Was 3 p.m. PT, or 3 a.m. rather PT. And then I was up at 7. Aha! I'm like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. And lo and behold, there is. I've often found with a lot of these puzzles that as long as I don't, that overthinking is like my downfall. Yeah, Tech was got it exactly as I was thinking about it. I didn't even see that, but yeah, Tech was got it. Once I'm awake, I can't fall back asleep. Sleep meds have worn off. Yeah, it's 50-50 for me on that. Like, it just depends on how exhausted I am. But it is very, very hard for me to fall asleep. All right, there is paint. The certification program is a sham. What does a computer know about humanity? Rabbit Skywalker. That would be something Rabbit would say. Feel bad for the roommate. I don't know why he sleeps downstairs. There's 2 rooms upstairs, so I try not to move around until he goes to work. Get that? Yeah. That was one thing when I had a roommate. That I was always trying to do the same thing. Here's what I've been wondering while you're off carrying out commandments. You suggest that conscience is not part of the same world as ordinary physical things. That means you can't weigh, you can't throw it around or cut it into pieces. It's completely beyond the laws of physics, right? Yeah, that's a great question. Is consciousness part of the laws of physics? Hard to say. I'm going to say right. Good. Now, the library is fairly consistent on the view that physical events are caused by other physical events. Move your legs is because of the interaction between your neurons and your nervous system. But if consciousness is beyond the laws of physics, how can happiness physically make you jump for joy? Let's see. Consciousness is mysterious by nature, but if consciousness is physical, why is it so unlike everything else? It can't. It just feels like it can. I may have taken a wrong turn in my reasoning. I think out of these two, I think it can't. It just feels like it can. Is the right response here. Very clever. But do you see that to explain your, dare I say it, hastily constructed belief system, you have rather thrown the baby out with the bathwater? Consciousness that does nothing at all is hardly consciousness as you claim to know it. Like to stick with that line or reel your neck in? I'll stick. Be it on your head, still the alternatives are equally unconvincing.
I know not the deceiver.
How consciousness can be so intimately familiar to you and yet so obscure I just don't understand.
Wisdom is hollow and born of despair. Do not let him tangle you in his webs of delusion. Have faith in me, and
agreed,
his
Tech
petty
Wiz.
illusions will fall away like nightmares in the morning's light.
Don't mind him. He's just worried that if you ask too many questions, you'll start to see through his shtick. Stick with me, and the sky will be quite literally be the limit. At any rate, I'd like you to think a bit harder about all this and get back to me. I'm sure there's still progress to be made. Sounds good. But yeah, Techwiz says, depending on your interpretation of the soul and consciousness, I guess. Yeah. It's an interesting philosophical question. And right on cue, Canuck says, damn philosophical reasoning. Alright, I am missing one more, and that's this one. Okay, cool. Higher ground. Alright, so we need to grab those keys. Why am I carrying around this paint bucket? I don't have a clue. But it's my paint bucket. Mine. All mine! Okay, let's see here. We'll jam that one. Oh, the paint is for making your own QR codes. Interesting. I did not know that. Okay. Cool. I go the classic Homer Simpson route, of course. The whole Soulmate episode is just supposedly to slowly follow a turtle. Heck no, you kick the turtle and simply climb up a large pyramid. Let's see. What message should I put here? Frogs are people too. There we go. I did it. I have left my mark on the world and gotten an achievement for it. We're jamming. Alright, got the keys. Damn you, Neighborhood Watch Committee! Alright, I've opened the door, so that's good. Gotta look up that song now. Instant Memory Unlocking. We're jamming is the song Chief Wiggum and Lou start singing when they're searching the blind guy's house who had Bart's dog and they found weed. Sounds about right. So, is that the way I went? Let's see. Yeah, I went in the door, took a left, and then a right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's where the door is. So I need to go here, and then jam that guy. And I jam that guy. I go over here, and I jam this other guy. You have this endless knowledge of crap like that, but I nearly failed history in grade 12. Hey, you know, it happens. I've always argued that intelligence is, there are many different forms of intelligence. Ow! Alright, good to know. Can't do that. I did indeed get yeeted, and I have to start the puzzle completely over. Which, you know, is just, fucking wonderful. But there has to be a way past that. I just need to figure out what it is. And maybe not rush headfirst in. Epitaph, child program, codename terminated here. Logic worshipper, worship the designer for a number of days and allowed the serpent into its heart. Final memory dump, I asked the designer for forgiveness that may join him in the eternal memory. I guess someone met their end here. Seems we're all connected somehow, like distant family relation. Different version, different series. What are we? Who cares? Just be grateful we don't have to read anything more about our great designer. Me as fuck, yeah, I know, right? TechWiz, I'm with you on that one. Oh wait, I think I may know how to do this. Again, overthinking it. If I had just sat and thought about it for more than 3 seconds, it would have made sense. You gotta split them up. Like the Scooby-Doo gang, every time they need to solve a mystery. Let's split up, gang. Alright, then we gotta do the same thing here. But we also need to open up that other gate. Okay, so there must be something I'm missing here. Let's see, because yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 3 doors we need to hold open. So how do we do that? How? Speaking of Scooby-Doo, I wonder if Alice in Wonderland was the first to do the infamous hallway scene where there's multiple corridors and they always change spots. Happened in the Alice in Wonderland movie when the Red Queen and the cards are chasing Alice. That's a good question. I honestly don't know. I know there's a trope for it, but I don't know what, I don't know if it's, like, I don't know what the earliest scene of that with the hallway, the running gag in the hallway scene. I don't know what the name of that would be. Where does the middle gate go? That one, it goes into the room that I had to, what's it called? It's where I dropped off the third jammer to open up the door where I got yeeted. Coming to the room streaking. Sounds great, Raz. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. So, yeah, let me show you real quick. So it goes right here. I have an idea, though. Let's see if it will work. I'm excellent. Hell yeah! How was Helldivers, Raz? Got it. Pretty sure I just figured it out. I did it! Odd that nothing else is here. But alright, there we go. That one took me a couple of minutes, but I got it eventually. Chaos per usual. We had the entire swarm map covered in fire. We were just throwing more gems in there. Hell yeah. How's the brain cage feeling? Pretty good. Alright. So the only thing is I did not find the star in here. I don't know where it is. I'm gonna take just a quick look around the puzzles again. This is the one where I feel the star would most likely be. But I don't know for sure. Are they on the signs? No, they're just on the, like, the main sign, right? So it's like you have the main sign that says, hey, there's 1 star somewhere in here. Now go find it. Beb. I kind of exaggerated that last part, but nevertheless, it is still true. So it's like, if you look at, like, this sign here, it shows you what tools, but it doesn't say whether the star's there or not. But if you go, check... like here, you can see there's a star there. So it might be in one of these two or in this area. I don't know how that works. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know how that works. Dang, I was hoping that that would work and I could yeet the fan over, but... no star. No star. I am a sad panda. No star. Just gonna take just taking a quick look around to see if there's any other, you know, signs or things I can be on the lookout for. Victory lap! Woo! Woo! That's my secret cap. Every lap is a victory lap. Except for the ones that aren't. Hang on, guys. Sorry, 1 second. Alright, I'm gonna go check in the tomb again. No, I could reset it if I had to, but... Hey, Stexan, it's good. We just got, we wrapped up all the pieces in this section. I'm just taking another look around for the star to see if I can find anything that jumps out at me. Haven't seen anything yet, and this is kind of the last area I'm checking. But it's been good, you know, having a good time. No major complaints. I left my first mark on the world as well. I found a can of paint, and TechWiz was kind enough to explain what that was to me. So that was kind of cool. So, of course, I had to leave the comment about frogs. As you know, it's what I do. But yeah, nothing else is really jumping out at me as far as the star. I'm sure it's somewhere here. I don't know where it is. So I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to move on. Yes, actually, if you want to give a hint, maybe we'll go back and get it. Alright, we're missing one more piece from that, which we'll get in here, it looks like. Yep. Oop, I did not mean to do that. I stepped back in the portal. Alright, Progress report 9. The basic skeleton of the simulation is now running on EL. It's not plugged into the AI system yet, but in theory everything is ready. I guess the next step is to test whether the generated scenarios make sense. Do we wait for the iteration module to... Error. File not found. Osiris 3. The first wisdom, the scribe said to the dying man, is that the world is made of 5 elements. So is the soul of man. Know therefore that in this life you are heart and shadow and name, and also Ka and Ba. Without all these, you would not be a living being, but a thing. What is a man without a name who cannot speak of himself? What is a man without a shadow who is not anchored in the world? What is a man without a heart who can neither feel nor think? What is a man without a Ka who has no essence? What is a man without a Ba who is not himself, but like unformed clay? Therefore praise Osiris, the king of eternity, the lord of the everlastingness, the eldest son of the womb of Nut, he who travels millions of years in his existence. Here the translator is clearly inserting his own belief onto the text, as blank. The tome hides many things in the shadows. Alright, sounds good, Sexton. We'll go back and check that out in a minute. Democrates, alter, or on the Just Causes for War Against the Indians, by Juan Jimenez de Sepulveda. Written in 1547 to justify the Spanish conquest of the Americas. The Spanish have a perfect right to rule these barbarians of the New World, who in humanity are as inferior to the Spanish as children are to adults, or women are to men. For there exists between the two a great difference, as I might even say, between apes and men. Ah, so we have a right-wing grifter from 1547. Got it. Compare, then, these gifts with those possessed by these half-men in whom you will barely find the vestiges of humanity, who not only do not possess any learnings at all, but are not even literate and eat human flesh. Therefore, if you wish to reduce them, I do not say to our domination, but to servitude a little less harsh, it will not be difficult for them to change their masters. Yeah. You know, the thing, and I haven't really talked about this a lot, but I had a lesson in college, and I thought it was a very effective lesson, but it was 2 lawyers, and normally I don't like lawyers, because I think they tend to get too much into, like, wordplay for bad faith interpretations in a lot of cases. But one of the lessons they had was they had a list of historical texts and writings from all across the history of North America. You know, from Mexico, from Canada, from the United States. And they basically asked us, and this was in 2011 at the time, and they asked us, is this written from, you know, is this in the 21st century, meaning within the last 14 years, or was it written before that? And they would read out quotes very similar to this one, and ask us, you know, who said it, right? Was it some dude from, you know, before the 1980s? Or was it someone who was active in politics at the time? And the thing that struck me with this exercise was that when you listen to a lot of the hateful shit that humanity has spewed out from the dawn of time until now, it's all the same shit. Same reasoning, same justifications. And it's very, I thought that was a very effective lesson to identify when someone is a hateful bigot, right? Is to compare what they're saying and just substitute a word out. So in this case, you know, they're describing obviously Native Americans. The Spanish guy is discussing, you know, Native Americans. But it's like, substitute that in for, like, gay people, and you would find quotes that are almost word for word the exact fucking same. Around the time California Proposition 8 came out, and, you know, leading up to the gay marriage ruling in the Supreme Court here in the United States. From mainstream politicians. It's pretty wild. Yeah. And Canuck says, there's always a scapegoat, exactly. And that's the thing. You know, it's... I have a lot I could say on the topic, but I just thought it was a very, very interesting lesson that this reminded me of. So sorry for the tangent, but yeah, hatred and bigotry is something that has not changed much over the years. It really has not. And it's kind of wild because of just how, like, unoriginal and uncreative all of them are, you know? Is that they're always looking for an excuse to feel better about themselves. That's really what it comes down to. Alright, so Stexon says, the tomb hides, tome is a book, hides many things in its shadows. I swear to God, Stexon, if I find a drawing of Shadow the Hedgehog in here, I'm gonna yeet you out of the chat. Kidding, mostly. The cynic in me is going to bring this up, and the only difference in the modern age is we're speeding up our extinction thanks to the cracking of the atom. I mean, that is absolutely... You know, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that entirely, but I definitely feel your premise is not unfounded, and you can absolutely make an argument for it. Like, 100%, I think you can make an argument for that. Absolutely. It reminds me of the line from Oppenheimer, right? I think it's at, like, the end of the movie, and it's revealing, like, what Oppenheimer said to Einstein. And it's like, you know, remember when we thought we could, you know, unleash a power that could destroy the world? And then he says, I think we did. And, you know, gotta be honest, sometimes it feels hard to argue. Sheer amount of damage we've done in, what, the past 200 years is just wild. Yeah, I would even argue, you know, less than that, right? Even in the last, like, 100 years, you know, I feel we've done a ton of damage, and I don't know. I agree. I agree, Canucks. I'll just leave it at that. I agree with you, and it's hard not to. I think it is difficult for a rational person to look at this situation and think anything other than, oh, fuck, you know? XKCD Global Warming. Yes, 100%. I do know that comic very well. hides many things in its shadows. Maybe it's not the inside of the tome that's hiding something. Maybe it's the out. I'm not seeing anything here. Oh, hey, wait. This looks like it could be something. This almost looks like a door. Same time, we do have to keep hope alive that we can better ourselves and not give up, because, of course, the cynic will always say we're doomed. Yeah, we got to keep some level of optimism alive to drive forward and potentially drive towards a better tomorrow. 100% agree, Canucks. Well said. Yeah, I think my general approach to things is, it's good to, you know, be positive and optimistic. But there's also, you know, a fine line of, like, don't be deluded by your own optimism type thing. And I wish I could, you know, say that, like, I've mastered it and that I understand the secrets of the universe. But I don't. And, yeah, it's just one of those things where you need to find a balance that works for you. Okay, right idea, but wrong chamber. Is it in the death chamber? Death chamber. Like, I'll just use an example here, right? Are you guys familiar with free speech, the free speech absolutist movement? Does anyone know what that is? Canucks, I don't expect you to know it because I know that I don't think it's as big of a movement in Canada as it is here. So, for those that don't know, free speech absolutists basically put the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution above anything and everything else. And, you know, the idea behind it is to treat everybody equally in speech, right? So, in other words, to take the widest, most generous interpretation that has largely been supported by the rule of law, historically in the United States, I might add. And, you know, generally considered a good thing, right? Because the government, you know, you don't want the government in charge of punishing people for their speech, right? So, overall, you know, I'll just tell you guys personally, I generally support the free speech movement. Where I run into moral and ethical issues is that the downside of that is that things like hate speech and bullying are also fall into that free speech category. And a lot of free speech organizations, namely FIRE, which does a lot of good work, don't get me wrong, they have taken the side of some really awful cases in the name of free speech. Defending bullying, hate speech, bigotry, the list goes on. And again, it's one of those things where overall, do I personally feel that the free speech movement does more harm than good? Absolutely. But I also think it's extremely naive, and a lot of free speech absolutionists, I should say, are like this, to disregard the very real world effects and the real feelings of betrayal that they invoke when they go out of their way to defend things like hate speech and bullying. So it's a very interesting topic, and I bring it up because I saw something about it on Blue Sky, and I actually almost commented on it, because there is a trend I've noticed with free speech absolutists, I should say, when they are forced to face the reckoning of the fact that their decisions and their actions in the name of free speech actually hurt and harm people that they purport to be protecting. As you can imagine, a lot of them don't take it well, which I think is not necessarily something to demonize people over. I think that's a fairly normal, standard reaction when you put all of your faith and effort into one thing. But with that being said, I do think it is a place that they can improve on, is that they do have to understand that even if they may believe they're doing it for the greater good, there are going to be people who are upset with them because of their decision making. And I don't think that's controversial. I also don't think that is I don't think that is false or slanderous or a lie either. Is that there are a lot of people in the free speech movement who, the moment you point out to them that, hey, you're siding in a court case with the bully, with the bigot, they get really mad about that. And it's like, well, even if you think you're doing it for a better cause, you have to remember that every action we take as human beings, every action, runs the risk of hurting somebody else, no matter how well-intentioned it may be. Did they defend that one organization? The one I'm pretty sure I can't even say the acronym without getting a ban? I believe so, yes. I believe they did in the name of free speech. And don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of, like, I'm not here, guys. I'm not here to pass judgment on anybody. I simply want to make the statement that the point that I was trying to make is, the point that I was trying to make is that, what's it called? That it is very rare for we as human beings to have perfect anything. And that includes our attitudes and our belief systems. And it's very, very, very important, I think, to establish that actions have consequences. And even if your actions are made with the best intentions in mind, you can still cause a lot of pain. And I don't think that's controversial, and I certainly don't think that is, I certainly don't think that that is a, something to be ashamed about. Yeah, Sexton, as soon as you said that, so Sexton just gave me the clue, check the entryway. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing this wrong. Hang on. Alright, give me 1 second, YouTube. I need to fix my, Hey, YouTube, sorry about that. I fixed everything, but I got distracted talking about Twitter. We're gonna talk a little bit about it here, but I was just asking Twitch chat what happened with Twitter. If they heard about what happened, this past weekend. Technically both, Sexton. Sexton asked with Twitter with Grok. But there is something else, just so you know. Specifically with Twitter. Ryomi, how you doing? Yeah, the location thing, Ryomi knows. So yeah, in case you guys didn't hear with Twitter, those fucking morons released a location feature on. They released a location feature, and it revealed that almost every major like right-wing troll account is not even based in the U.S., but it's from like Nigeria, Russia, India, a couple Middle Eastern countries. It's just like, yeah, it's entirely it's entire bullshit. And it made me laugh because it's like, yeah, everything that Musk has touched is just he's just a fucking idiot. It's really wild to see how much brain damage he's seemingly taken. Because it's just like, what did you expect was going to happen when you did that? Yep. So they disabled it. I think it only took. I don't even think it was on for like 24 hours. I'd have to get the exact time, but it was. God, I have so much I could say about it, but yeah, it was like one of the dumbest things. So yeah, you know, YouTube, if you're still watching this and you've stuck around after kind of our philosophical discussions today, yeah, don't stay on Twitter, man. Just don't. They showed a few Canadian politicians pinging from the USA. Yeah, it's because they traveled down there. Yep. And there's also another reason for that, Canucks, is that the location feature, unless they're going like all in on people's privacy and like picking it up like directly from their devices and stuff like that, which, you know, they shouldn't be doing in theory. The location isn't necessarily always going to be accurate either. So it's like it could just be wrong. And the thing is when, you know, as anyone in development or in IT can tell you, like TechWiz, I'm sure will have a fucking field day with this statement. But if you have bad leadership, and you know they're making bad changes that are not transparent, and you know you don't know if it works as intended, like with Grok is a great example where like 90% of the shit that AI spews out is wrong. You can't rely on the technology. Like, that's the thing. Technology is only as good as the people who, you know, use it and build it. And that's another philosophical question, you know, but I don't really want to get too much into that. I think we've already tackled quite a few with, like, you know, about, like, you know, how a good, you know, good intentions can still have awful results, like free speech organizations siding with, you know, bigots and racists and other things in the name of free speech. You know? He's admitted it multiple times to changing Grok. And, like, even, I think this past weekend, before the whole location thing, he was told, like, he outright publicly responded to somebody and said, yeah, we're tweaking it so you do not see politicians of a certain, ideology. And I know we all can guess, you know, we can all guess who, you know, which ideology that is, but it's like, yeah. And, you know, someone pointed out, it's like, you know, if Musk is doing it this blatantly, what's stopping any other tech company from doing the same thing? And it goes back to a line that Femzy used in a different context a while back, but I think is very, very accurate, is that there is no ethical consumption. In a capitalistic society, the end result is always for money, not for morals. You know, it's always for money, and if it's not for money, it's usually power, and then money is tied into that somewhere. All Alright, so I'm looking in the entrance here, and I'm not finding a damn thing, so either I'm blind, which, again, totally within the realm of possibility, or I'm stupid. Also not within, also not outside of the realm of possibility. There's a crevice in here? I never would have found this in a million years. Thank you, Stexon. Alright, I think I know how to get this. To bring some optimism from probably the least optimistic person here, I have to believe, at the very least for the USA, the 2016 midterms will change some things. There's early signs leaning the ways, but at the same time, we can't expect the easy win. I have a lot of thoughts on that. We'll see what happens, but I'm not nearly as optimistic as you are, my friend. I'll just leave it at that. And unfortunately, I'm not that optimistic because of... Yeah, because of the people in power. Let me just put it that way. Yeah, that would dive a little too deep than what I feel like doing tonight, but yeah, I'm just at a point where I think that the nicest thing I can say is that even the people that are supposed to be on our side continue to prove they're not on our side. And I think that's really, really gonna hurt their prospects if they don't figure that out. Got the star. That took way longer than it should have. I am so sorry, everybody. I know last time I had optimism, woke up at 3 a.m. after election day with a sense of dread. I have no optimism anymore. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, again, it's, what 2014, what 2020, the election of 2024 showed me is that the American public has a long way to go. They have very short memories, and they have a long way to go. I think that's the nicest thing I can say. As someone who, and again, YouTube, for those that don't know, I have a degree in this, so it's not just some, random white guy talking out of their ass. I have a Bachelor of Arts in political science. So, I do actually have education. I've written papers. I've not gotten anything published, full disclaimer. Getting published is insanely hard. But, yeah, I've written papers and all that sort of stuff. on it. So, you know, believe me when I say I'm not just some random dude talking out of my ass. I'm pretty close, I'll give you that, but I'm not just some random dude. Okay, I am some random dude. You know what I mean, damn it. You got a star. Hell yes, I did. That was fairly straightforward. Whoosh. Ooh, this one looks a little bit more challenging, I must say. Alright, let's think about this. So my first thought is we want to turn this fan on. Yes? Sean got stuck here for a long time. Let's see if I can do better. Let's see if I can do better than Sean, huh? Of course, it's easier for me to say this. Maple MAGA led to Liberal Democrats nearly getting a majority in Canada, and the recent budget was in jeopardy not passing. But again, Maple MAGA seem to have worked in our favor. It sucks the Canadian knowing that so many in the USA always wish for the best for y'all. Thanks, Canucks. Yeah, you know, it's there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot I could say, a lot I could comment on, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not really interested in like trying to convince anybody anymore. I think that at this point, if you can't see what's going on a day-to-day basis, I just kind of have to assume that you don't care. Or, you know, because it just, at this point, there just isn't really an excuse for, there just isn't really an excuse for ignorance at this point anymore. You know, at some point, you gotta recognize that it's like there is a significant number of people that agree with everything that's happening. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. And you know, just personally, I'm not a fan. You know, I'm not. I don't think it's good policy. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's being a good human being, quite frankly. But at the end of the day, people need to make up their own minds. Like, I can only control what I can control. And quite frankly, There's very little influence I can have in my current position. You know, yes, I do talk about a lot of stuff. I admit. I'd be the first one to admit that to anybody who asked me. But, you know, at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, my opinion carries about as much weight as anybody else's. And, my vote, being in California nationally, means next to fucking nothing. So, you know, I still vote, I still take part, but, you know, I'm not in one of the states that decides the election, right? So, I have to take a step back for my own safety, and I highly recommend everyone else do too. And, you know, it's like, look, be an advocate, volunteer, help, do what you can for causes that are important to you. But also, protect your own mental health. Recognize what impact you can have, what impact you can't have. And for a lot of people, particularly supporters of the MAGA movement, if other people want to try and convince them, by all means, please do. You know? But I've been doing it for over a decade, and I can tell you that I have made less than positive progress, personally speaking. So it's important to me, you know, again, be honest, be a good person. But also, remember, take care of yourself too. Because if you are not around, if you're not in a good mental state, not only you're more likely to make mistakes, but you also may be harming the people you're trying to help. Something to think about. See what these philosophical shenanigans and discussions we're having with this, you know, so-called God and the voice in the computer have done to me? I've been on my freaking pedestal all night tonight. God damn it. I do hope you guys are still enjoying the content, though. I am enjoying this game quite a bit. Dear God! It is time to do science! Near. This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture Science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of those, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. We just keep on trying till we run out of cake. Then the science gets done and we make a neat gun for the people who are still alive. Ow, my soul. Keep your chin up. Ow, my chin. Don't you just love red herrings? Ladder is to prevent soft lock. Yep, it does jump you automatically. Okay, I have to, rethink my approach here. Ow, my face! Ow, my face again! Goddamn, the red herring literally in that Capcom Dino Horde video game. Oh, hey, we're gonna use a character that looks like the redhead from Dino Crisis. Assholes. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Capcom got a lot of shit for that. Damn. That fan isn't nearly as powerful as I thought it was. Thinking, okay, we launched the thing at an angle. Breaking it up temporarily, allowing me to sprint to it. Yeah, so my thought was, hey, we launched the cube, right? And then it goes in and disrupts the laser just long enough. So you race to the finish. That was my thought. Didn't work. Ow! That was my face! What if I'm the bullet? I mean, it could be. That's just so crazy, it might work.
If the answer does not come to you, do not despair. The worlds of my garden are many.
Where did I put the, yeah, I put it right here, okay. Not quite. Could have literally created any other character for that game, and they knew what they were doing. They absolutely had to. And if not, then that makes them even dumber. Ow, my face. Who? What do we do here? Use the box in your hands to block the laser. I think that's it, yeah. Where did I put the other guy? Oh, he's right there. Okay. Got it. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Good idea. Try, fail, try again, fail again, eventually succeed. I do that a lot. Thank you for the tip there, TechWiz. I probably would not have thought of that. But to be completely honest. What if we take the box and push it somewhere else? The only meaningful purpose is to bring about an end of purpose. I figured it out. Now what? Dog. Oh, that's the dog you were referring to, TechWiz. I'm a fool. Theory, this place is some kind of preserve for human history and we're the endangered species? Theory, trying to find answers will only bring pain. Ceasing to care is the only escape. Theory, this guy's 10 times more help than you, Samsara, so shut your face. Theory, we're in some kind of incubator waiting to be hatched. Theory, if you knew how little you know, you wouldn't be exposing it here. Me neither. I did it on accident trying to type something completely different. Hell yeah, there you go. The box could be anything. It could even be a boat. I wonder if there's any paint around here. I need to leave more messages to future travelers. I'm hoping I can just do nothing but leave messages about frogs. Oh, well, hey, there's the star. At least that saves me from having to look for it, I suppose. Behold! I can use the power of my brain! Easy peasy. Alright, now, though, we need a red laser. Pretty sure that's how we're gonna get to that star. So let's bring you here. We'll just connect you here and leave you right there for now. And maybe a solution will present itself shortly. Eagle's Nest. Alright, let's go out here. Whee! Okay, that is what I need to do. Then in order to make this easier, I need to make sure I'm holding a box on top of that. Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, of course, I have to drop it like that. Uh... Damn. Yep, Tech Wiz, you got it. I'm just a fool. A fool. Overthinking things as per usual. Thank you. What a fool. Body and soul, but it is commonly supposed that the Egyptians believed the soul to live as long as the body continued undissolved, and therefore tried this method of eluding death. Could the wise Egyptians, said Nekaya, think grossly of the soul? If a soul could once survive its separation, what could it afterwards receive or suffer from the body? The Egyptians would doubtless think erroneously, said the astronomer, in the darkest of heathenism and the first dawn of philosophy. The nature of the soul is still disputed amidst all of our opportunities of clearer knowledge. Some yet say that it may be material, who nevertheless believe it to be immortal. Names are a funny thing. I remember how much we struggled to come up with a name for our project. All serious scientists name their project by just translating them to Greek or Latin, right? Corpus made me think some horrible disease, so we used the Greek word instead. Soma, quite appropriate. But then, since we needed corporate funding, we had to come up with backronym. Corporations love backronyms, you know? They even sent us a list of buzzword-heavy suggestions to help us get started. Stuff like self-sufficient, orthostatic, modular, android, sustainable, observant, mechanized, anthropoid, skeuomorphic, omni-adaptable, mobile, anthropomaton. After a while, we got so frustrated we started getting silly. Saber-tooth, overexcited murder android, sentient orthopedic monkey automaton, strange Olga's menacing assassobot, superb octopod marinating apeling, satisfying overcooked mint alligator, stinky ornithonical mule allocator, scroink oif minky ack, stupid obscene meaningless acronym. In the end, we all just ended up hating the name Soma just because we had so many fights about it with the sponsors. So when Alexandria told us the story about the Talos Principle, it caught on. I don't know whether it really fits, but I kind of like it. Alright, so we've done everything here except for get the star. We haven't even had, like, a red laser, have we? I don't think we did. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll just go back once we find the red laser. Oh, yeah, here's one right here, actually. Okay, So how do we do this thing? Eight! Alright, I shall leave my message. Damn, I wanted to leave it right there. Let's see. I have no idea what's going on, do you? I was hoping for another frog one. Alright, so how do we get the red laser over here? Let's go back and take a look. I'm gonna try and figure this out, damn it. Right idea, wrong angle. Gotta thread this needle, huh? So close. Damn it. Got it. Alrighty. So let's go unlock this thingy mabobber. And then I think it'll be a pretty good time to wrap up after that. Want to see something weird though? Yeah, what's up?
Oh yeah.
Gridley, thank you so much for subscribing with Prime for 27 months. Hope you're doing well. Go back to that puzzle with the red laser. Alright, give me 1 second. I will do so. I just want to unlock this.
You may wonder why I have created these labyrinths for you. Why you can reach eternity only through struggle. But have faith, for these trials serve the betterment of your kind.
Build the 2-cube tower next to the fan used to disrupt the blue laser. Alright. Now jump over the wall? Where am I supposed to be looking up? From here? Indeed it does. So is the idea that you're supposed to, Oh, I see. So I just did it a different way, huh? I just found the super hard needle thread. Damn straight I did. I never do anything half-assed. It's always full-assed here. Threading the needle, yeah. I can only really do that in video games. I'm too clumsy in real life to actually do needlework. I've tried. Lots of puncture wounds. Lots and lots of puncture wounds. But alright, yeah, we made good progress here. But, I definitely want to test something, so we're going to, let's see. Be okay. Cool thing to end the YouTube vid. Well, the other cool thing to end the YouTube vid is we're gonna go check something out. We're gonna go check out the place we're not supposed to get known. I'm curious if, what will happen. So we're gonna go check it out. Must be the tower we were warned about. Seems the upper levels are locked tight. Ilum is taking no chance that we stray from his path.
Cannot detect location of primary subject. Query. Query. Query.
Is there anything that we associate more closely with intelligence than curiosity? Every intelligent species on Earth is attracted by the unknown. Our mythologies are full of riddles and mysteries and divine knowledge. Even the word apocalypse means revelation. It seems like our ancestors always imagined that even at the very end, we would solve one last mystery.
All right. Solve one last mystery, huh? Firstly, the world, revelation means apocalypse. Yep. Alright, so it does look like there are new puzzles in here that we would need to solve. Though I think I know what to do here. Yeah, what's up, Tanner? I think Tanner's telling me we need to come back and solve this mystery another time. I do just want to see if we can unlock this here. Yeah, I think this is going to take too long to charge. With that going in between. So I think they want us to find a way around it. But I'm not 100% sure. Feels right anyway. Tanner, bud, it's okay, kiddo. Give me a second. I'm working on a puzzle here. I'm trying to solve life's greatest mysteries, Tanner boy. Aren't you excited? Yeah, it takes too long to charge. So we definitely want to get that out there, but what's the next step, I wonder? Tanner, what's up, kiddo? You okay? Tanner, it's okay, bud. It's okay. I know. You're so excited. They're like, you need to wrap up, Dad. Oh, it's okay, Tanner Banana. it's okay, kiddo. As you guys can tell, he is not a happy boy at the moment. Come here, kiddo. It's okay. Let me see if we can solve this puzzle, okay? Then we'll come back and do more next time. Yeah, good boy. Come here, Tanner. No, come here. Come here. Come here. Good dog. Good dog. Tanner knows you shouldn't be here. I mean, look. Stexon. What is dog spelled backwards? Huh? Huh? Why you think I fear nothing, Jon Snow? I know the line is you know nothing, Jon Snow, but work with me here. I wanted to sound dramatic and cool. Alright, gotta figure this out. How, with two connectors and a path around, do we connect successfully? Let's think about this. That there. Alrighty, let's see. Not sure if you noticed, but an indicator appears under the reticle when you assigned it a target source. These icons also light up when you have line of sight. I was kind of hoping I'd get an achievement for jumping out of the tower. There's a star here! I return from the tower to feel a great tiredness and enormous energy. What I now know disturbs me, but I hope that by living with this knowledge I might provide a shoulder for you, the giants of tomorrow. The view from the top must be incredible. Indicators appear under the reticle when you've assigned a target source. Those icons also light up when you have line of sight. Yeah. It's a good feature for sure. I just need to find a place where I have both. I have line of sight for both. Assuming there even is one. I confess, I did notice that, but I didn't really put it together that way, TechWiz. Thank you. I appreciate you spelling it out for the big old dummy here. So I think this is on the right track. But I'm still missing something. Yeah, I kind of, so, for those, you know, in case you needed things to be spelled out like I do sometimes, often. This is, I would imagine, the final area, and in order to keep advancing through the tower, we need to keep collecting the red pieces. That's what the red pieces are for, that we've been collecting. Hi, Silly, how are you? Coming in just at the end here. I already got away with some thread the needle bullshit earlier, so I don't think I'll be able to do that again. Because there's definitely got to be a solution. Ooh, wait a minute, wait a minute. That might just be the thread the bullshit thread the needle bullshit I need. Probably not, but hey, you know what? Let's yeah, no, that won't work. That won't work. So yeah, we need to be far enough back. Yeah, yeah. Tegwiz says I can also move the other beacon, which is true. But I don't know, I don't know how much moving it back would affect the position of this guy right now. Just because, like, when you see it, like, the laser is hitting the wall. I don't think there's anything over there that can move it far back enough. I would need to get some extra height somewhere. And I don't see a box or a cube in this area, unfortunately. I don't think you can put it on the railing. So this is as far back as I can get this thing. while it's still being connected there. Because he doesn't go through the railing either. I experimented with that earlier. I was hoping there would be something, you know, back here, like a box or something, but I'm not finding anything else. 'Cause yeah, it's a game of positioning here. You just place it inside with the bot. I wish. That would make everything easy, but I don't think you can place it inside there. Yeah, see, it just drops it right out here. But yeah, that would be probably the easiest way to do it. Is you just block off the bot from, you know, moving and blocking the laser. But, unfortunately, I do not believe that is a valid option. I don't think there's a way to get up there to drop it in there either, which would be awesome. But, yeah, I think... I almost do feel like it's, you know, the solution is threading the needle, but I don't think that's correct. Is there an opening on the right side? So when we say the right side, you mean if I'm facing this direction or this direction? Towards the, what's it called? Towards the other connector or the target? Facing the target, is there an opening on the right side? So, like all the way over here? I don't think so. There's a gate here, which I think is what opens up when you get it. And then, you know, there's this over here, but again, this is inside, so yeah, I think that's the way out once you get it. We have everything we need. That's the one thing I like about this game, is they give you everything you need to solve the puzzles. It might not necessarily be in this area, but yeah. I kind of like that. Sneaky laser poking through the side around the bot room entirely. Yeah, I just don't think there's enough angles to get there with only two. We may need to go back and get more of these guys to solve this. Because it's like, in order for it to get hit, I think I would need at least three. And then there isn't an angle here that's far enough out. I do want to test something. Let me test something real quick. Just gonna steal this. we don't have power on. Okay. Damn. Yeah, and then when you try to jump on top of there, it just pushes you off, so... How many do you need for the bendy part? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I wanted to go through this bendy part here. One beacon in the room with the laser source and see if there are gaps in the wall. Good call. Might be worth looking into. Worst case, we eliminate it, right? We're still in the same position. Okay, Tanner boy. Okay. Wonder if it's being shitty like that. Not sure. Do you make sure the laser is in the furthest corner from the farthest run of the bot? To give it more time? I mean, I can try. Yeah, why not, right? So, how would we do this? Good boy, Tanner. Bottom left. I want to test something. Hang on. So TechWiz wants me to try. Let's try and see what TechWiz wants to do. Let's see if I can. So we need to take this all the way back here. Do 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 do. It's just a red herring. I think so. I think this is just where we found the two pieces, right? So the bot is in a lopsided rim. It moves further to the left than to the right. So put the two beacons to bridge the gap furthest to the left as possible. Yeah, okay, I see what you're doing. So you want me to do this. Put this here. Not quite enough time. Tanner, come here, bud. No, come here. No. Tanner. No. I know. You sit for me? Sorry, we're on a roll here, and we might actually solve this. Come here. Come here, bud. Tanner, come here. Come here. Tanner. Good boy. Hey, you're not in trouble. Don't worry. I get it. I totally get it. I know. I know. And you're right. You're right. And then use the other beacon to get even closer to the left edge. Yeah. Yeah, it's all good, TechWiz. It's all good. It just opened. How, though? The fuck did we just do? Did we just glitch the stupid thing? That would be fucking hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. The orb oscillates a tiny amount on the z-axis. Yeah. I've noticed that. It like moves up and down. So on some rotations, it's lower, and then on others, it's higher. Wait. This is a lot easier than we're making it. Holy shit. You just attack it from two different angles. You have two different laser sources that are both targeting it. And so that way it can only block one at a time. Well, there you go. Overthinking another puzzle as per usual. Now let's see what's going on here. Alright, so 2 is locked, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and yeah, they all require a code. Okay. So 2. We'll just unlock it. And we don't have the codes yet. The auxiliary stairway is in always open mode now. Please renew your license to enable auxiliary stairway locking. Okay, that's good. Thanks, silly. Do not believe what they are saying. This is not the end of the world created by our Lord God in 6 days. This is a conspiracy of the government, Illuminati, and international Darwinism. This is Global Warning 2.0, a lie told by the children of Beelzebub. Science. Do not let them take your liberty. Defend yourself against all vaccines, experiments, artificial medicines, and potpourri. Bruh, this hits a little too hard in the year of our Lord 2025. Surely if a machine is able to reproduce another machine systematically, we may say that it has a reproductive system. And how few the machines are there which have not been produced systematically by other machines. But it is man that makes them do so, yes, but it is not insects that make many of the plants reproductive, and would not whole families of plants die out if their fertilization was not affected by a class of agents utterly foreign to themselves? Each one of ourselves has sprung from a minute animalcules, I hope I got that right, I probably didn't, whose entity was entirely distinct from our own, and which acted after their kind with no thought or heed of what we might think about it. These little creatures are part of our own reproductive system, then why not we part of that of the machines? Again, more philosophical stuff. But there we go, guys. We have successfully gotten through level 1 of the tower. And we have also unlocked level 2. So what we'll do is we'll just go open up the, we'll just go up and check it out. There's probably a red door we need to open. If I had to guess. Seems Elon lacks powers to stop me from climbing this thing. No doubt he still has some tricks up his sleeves. Alright, we need 2 more sigils, so we cannot get to those yet. That's good to know. So we need to get 2 more of the red sigils for floor 2. Good to know. Good boy, Tanner. Yeah, it's okay, kiddo. Yeah, you're being such a good dog. So patient. It's not like you, Tanner Bud.
My child, have you been tempted by the tower? Know that it holds only death for you.
Uh-huh. So yeah, we'll just go in and create a new checkpoint in the next world we need to do. Which I believe is 4. We've done all of them up to this point. This will give us some more red pieces. There's 2 stars to get here. And there we are. So we will save, stop the game. And call it there. So I'm liking this game. I think it's a very, very good puzzle game. It's fun, it's interesting, and as long as I don't overthink it too much, I think it's, you know, hopefully we won't take so long. like we did on that last one. But yeah, thank you guys for yes, Tanner. Thank you guys for watching YouTube. I love you, and we'll see you next time. Okay.